It is Monday, July 7th, 2025. This is another edition of Baseball Today, presented to you by Mountain Dew. If you're looking for a refreshing, citrusy kick, go and grab yourself a Mountain Dew. That is my man, Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose, producer Dan, intern Sawyer along for the ride as well. Mwah! I missed you.
I miss you too, C. Rosie. I'm so happy you're back. And now cultured, living in France, speaking 3 different languages now. You just come back a completely different person. It's great.
Oui.
Oui.
Everything was fun. I missed my community, as I said, with my new best buddy, The Miz, and Roxy Diaz, who are the co-hosts of the show that'll be coming out at some point soon. I don't know when it's going to be coming out, but there we are. There was a lot of baseball talk. There were a lot of baseball fans that worked on the show. One of our writers, Jared, great dude. I did not know him before this, and I got on this venture very late. And so I see him, I meet him, he goes, "This is very strange. I was just listening to you on Baseball Today, and here you are like 48 hours later." So there you go.
Who's a better co-host, me or The Miz?
Well, did you say better, sexier, better shape? What did you say?
Well, I know I'm sexier. He's probably in better shape than me right now.
Hey, he's looking good. He watches what he eats. He's very disciplined. And
I got a great tan right now, though, so I don't know, Miz.
A couple of things. Number one, he is a ball of energy. He's awesome. Hangs out with the whole crew. Really good dude. Didn't know Roxy ahead of time. We have a lot of common friends in the business. She was great as well. But you did a tremendous job. I was checking in on the product, and I want to thank, Jolly, Jimmy Norp, Dalton Feely, Trevor May. I mean, Shelfie was in there. A ton of people. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it. But it's good to be back. Let's get it going. One more week until the All-Star break where we're all going to be together in Atlanta. Cannot wait for that. I am going to start with a tip of the cap to none other than Brandon Woodruff, who made his return to the Major League mound on Sunday, first time in nearly 700 days.
For the first time ever, 1-2 pitch. Struck him out. Welcome back, Big Woo. First strikeout for Woodruff. Wife Joni, daughter Kyler, son Bo getting an opportunity to watch dad pitch for the first time.
And for his son's case, first time ever. Like he was born during this whole injury spree. He was outstanding. 6 innings, 1 run, 2 hits allowed, 8 Ks. He talked about how important it was just to be back out there and competing and how important it was for all the people that are part of the support system. We talk about this several times a year. We did it earlier this season with Lance McCullers, who had missed 2.5 years. Just to get back out there and, enjoy what you were put on this planet to do professionally is something special.
Absolutely, and he's their longest tenured player there, so wily vet and the all-time ERA leader for that organization, if anyone that's pitched over 500 innings. He's a stud.
Yep, and the Brewers are right in it. Much to my surprise, yet again for like the 8th consecutive year, and we will be talking about the Brewers probably being deadline buyers, and we'll see whether or not they can really keep pace with the Cubs. So that's going to be a huge, huge piece for them. That's like a trade deadline pickup for them, and a great one at that. So in the month that I've been away, oh boy, a lot has happened, particularly in the American League East. Yankees' dominance has evaporated, so too has their lead, because the chaser is now the Chase-E, the team whose hat I am adorning, the Toronto Blue Jays. They cannot be stopped.
And another diving play by Addison Barger, and it's another win for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, another one. They took care of the Halos this weekend. They swept the entire 7-game homestand. They have won 8 in a row. How shocked are you that it has now gone this way north of the border?
I mean, I'm pretty shocked that it's happened this quickly, I think, is what's most shocking. And, but when you watch them play and then you start to look at like the roster and what they've done, they've just gotten like contributions like up and down the lineup. They've had times where the starting pitching has carried them. They've had times where the bullpen has carried them. The biggest difference for me is Addison Barger. I don't think that's any question. I was on him early. I just like the way he takes at bats. He had a walk-off hit in that series, and just again, quality at bats. I think the biggest there was an instance there in the extra inning when before Barger's walk off. George Springer, who's been obviously incredible for them, and he's his own story in his own right. He lines out to second base. They walk Vladdy, they strike out Bo, and then you got to deal with Barger. And it's like he gets the knock. Like they're starting to get deeper and deeper in the guys that can really, really hurt you in that lineup. But then you throw into the mix the fact that they've gotten, I want to say it's second best like catcher WAR in all of baseball behind Cal Raleigh up there and in Seattle. But what Kirk and my guy Heineman have done, like it just, you start to peel back the layers and you just start to realize like they've been doing things well up and down the lineup. And again, just at certain times with the pitching staff and the bullpen as well. So they've just found the recipe. They've really taken on like that identity of, hey man, like if you don't get it done, I'm going to get it done. For example, also in that game, Estrada and Fisher, like the way they came and threw up scoreless innings. Like there's just, it's not just brand name guys doing things for the Blue Jays. It's 26 man up and down the roster doing it. And I think the only thing that shocks me is how quickly they've now developed a 3-game lead in the AL East.
Well, if this had happened in 2023 or 2024, I would not have been surprised because I think I picked them both years to represent the American League in the World Series. And if you remember at the beginning of the season, I said, I am not going to fall for that. Not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe, and I'm not going to do it. And so I pretty much dismissed the Blue Jays from the onset, and then they got off to a crappy start, and I wondered if maybe a managerial change was going to happen. A lot of people wanted the front office changed in the offseason after several dismal years. They said basically the best thing we have done is revamp the look of our ballpark, and that has been it. But now you start to put it together, and you're getting guys who are earning 9-figure contracts, playing like guys who are supposed to play that way when they get 9-figure deals. And, their pitching staff is veteran. It has received a tremendous boost from Eric Lauer, who I didn't even know was back in the big leagues until I was gone for my month. I was like, what is he doing here? And he has been nothing short of sensational for them. I suppose I owe a little bit of an apology to the Blue Jays fans and to the Tampa Bay Rays fans, and the Red Sox are kind of in this thing because you'll remember on May 29th, which has become customary in this program, to make some sort of outlandish statement that we don't want to have happen necessarily, but we think might. In case you've forgotten, here's what one of two morons said. I think 2 of the 3 American League divisions are already settled. And I don't think anybody will wrestle the lead away from the New York Yankees in the American League East or the Detroit Tigers in the American League Central. I think both of those teams are significantly better than anybody else in their respective divisions. In fact, I think the Yankees win the division by double digits. Well. 1 out of 2 ain't bad. Nailed the Tigers. Rest of it, I guess, oops.
It still could happen. They could win by double digits. They have to start playing some really good baseball, Chris. So don't give up hope just yet, man. Don't give up hope just yet.
Oh, yeah. People wanted to really rail on me for that one, and that's fine. I like it better when, like last year, what?
No, I watched Angels in the Outfield over the weekend, and that's the classic line is, hey, it could happen.
Cute. Adorable. Yeah, listen, the sport is better when there's competition down the stretch. Last year, there was almost none of it in any of the divisions, and it kind of stunk. And so, yeah, I think it's better that's if the American League is competitive, particularly if you've got like 4 teams vying for 3 spots, if you include the wild card scenario. So I'm all in favor of it. Blue Jay fans?
Yeah. Ernie Clement's hitting 400 since June or something. Like they're the brand name's great, but the non-brand names are getting the job done. That's what makes a baseball team.
Dude, Ernie Clement has the second best WAR on that team behind Vlad in terms of position players. 2.5 WAR for Ernie Clement. If that guy gives you a 4 WAR on the season, that's tremendous. That's
nothing, obviously, from Santander, which I think if you told people before the season if he was going to give you a negative 1 WAR and be on the 60-day IL, things probably wouldn't be going well. But here we are.
Yeah, Dalton Varsho has been injured much of the year. So yeah, they're getting it from everywhere. And by the way, Jeff Hoffman has been sensational. You take away the month of May, which you can't do because it's 1/3 of the season. But outside of May, he has been exactly what you paid for. Let us know who's going to win that division, by the way. Yeah, in the comments. Not just, don't just drop a name. Just don't go Blue Jays, Yankees. Give me a line or two. And you can rip on me all you want for that prediction. Just remember what the question was. What do you think will happen that you don't want necessarily to have happen? That was it. Yeah. We'll continue on. Meantime, the Astros, they keep moving north in the standings. They took it to the champs out west this weekend.
Altuve drives one high and deep to left field. All the way back to the wall. That one's gone. Altuve hits his 3rd home run of the series. And the Astros lead this game 5-1.
It doesn't matter who it is. And this team is just how they believe in one another and what it takes to win. It takes a lot of people to win games.
Record-wise, they're not the best team in baseball. But is it the best team in baseball?
I'm not going to put that on them right now. I think they are one of the best teams in baseball. I think there's a bunch of teams that can make the case. Obviously, the Detroit Tigers have an identity, ways they win baseball games. I mean, the Blue Jays are playing great as well. I will say, yeah, they're one of the best teams. If you go back to June 1st, since June 1st, yes, they've been the best team because they've been doing it on all facets, relievers, starters, hitters. They're all in the top 5 in FWAR from the beginning of June 1st, and the record shows it as well. Since June, they are 24-8, Chris, which is incredible for them. But they have a lot of guys doing it. I mean, again, they're similar to how I just talked about the Blue Jays, where it's not just Jose Altuve, Yordan Alvarez, like those are the guys you'd expect. Yordan hasn't done anything all year. Altuve obviously has picked it up. He's starting to really hit the ball, but they're getting contributions up and down the freaking lineup. They're winning games 1-0. Then they're blowing teams out. Like they have a recipe here. So I would say they are a top tier team in baseball. I'm not going to call them the best team in baseball because I think there are, I guess, you want an answer who the best team in baseball is. I bet that's what you're going to ask me.
Well,
I don't really know if I have it. I don't think there is a clear best team in baseball now. I think at times the Cubs look like the best team in baseball. At times the Tigers look like they're unbeatable. The Dodgers are going to be in that discussion as well. I know we can't talk about it right now because they just got absolutely boat raced by the Astros. But there's probably like 5 or 6 teams that have, at least a shot at saying, hey, we're the best team in baseball.
Well, over the last 2 weeks, the Astros have played 4 series. 1 against the Rockies.
Yep.
3 against the 3 division leaders in the National League. They went 8-1 combined against Philly, Chicago, and LA. That's pretty damn good. And I'll tell you this, man. Look out, because if they end up winning their division and getting a bye, which it feels like is going to happen, and then you have to face those 2 monsters in the first 2 games. I mean, Hunter Brown, we talked about him all year long, how great he's been. And Fromber, he's just, you can plug him in for exactly what he is. And those 2 guys in a short series, good luck, everybody. So I don't think they're the best team in baseball right now, but they could be the best team when we get to October.
100%. Yordan's not back yet. Hopefully Jeremy Pena comes back from the rib and is okay, because that can linger, and it can make things difficult for you to move and because he's obviously been a massive part of what they've been able to do. But yeah, I mean they look good, Chris.
You know what's amazing is that they're almost 20 games over 500 without Yordan Alvarez. I would have thought that was impossible, particularly with the way that they lose guys year after year. And the 2 guys in particular they lost from that lineup in Bregman and Tucker, 2 guys that made the All-Star team with their new teams. Like, how the heck does that? It really doesn't even make sense.
They're a really well-run team.
You think? Pretty good.
Understatement of the year, maybe right there.
Yeah. Pretty good. Nice. All right, attention renters. Attention renters. If you haven't heard of Built, you're about to thank us because you could be earning points on your rent with Built. That's right. There's no cost to join. By paying rent, you unlock flexible points that can be transferred to your favorite hotels and airlines, a future rent payment, your next Lyft ride, and more. Now, when you pay rent through Built, you unlock two powerful benefits. First of all, you earn one of the industry's most valuable points on rent every month. Second, you gain access to exclusive neighborhood benefits in your city. Built's neighborhood benefits are things like extra points on dining out, unique experience that only Built members can access. And when you're ready to travel, Built points can be converted to use for your favorite miles, hotel points, meaning your rent can literally take you places. So if you're not earning points on rent, my question is, what in the world are you waiting for? Start paying rent through Built. Take advantage of your neighborhood benefits by going to built.com/today. That is JOINBILT.com/today. Make sure you use our URL so they know that we sent you. Once again, that is joinbuilt.com/today to sign up for Built today. You'll thank us when you're on your next trip or paying your rent. And you're like, God dang, that was easy and easier on the wallet. So good luck with that. That's awesome. Good luck to a pair of former Washington Nationals who helped them win it all because they are looking for new jobs. Mike Rizzo, Davey Martinez, both let go after they were swept at home by Boston. Ownership said in a statement of their former president of baseball ops and their manager, quote, "We believe a fresh approach and new energy is the best course of action for our team moving forward." Does that quote make sense, or are those two gentlemen scapegoats?
I don't mind what's happened. They've had such an interesting run there with the Nationals, as you mentioned, like very instrumental in that 2019 run, and just kind of, if you think about, I think I'll go more specific, Mike Rizzo here, because Dave Martinez is, my stance on managers, right? I do think after he had that quote of saying it's never on the coaches, I think that was like a very interesting and almost like a telling quote. But Rizzo's had such success there, and like kind of like continued success. You have the drafts, and you get Harper, you get Strasburg back to back, you draft Rendon, you trade for Trey Turner, you sign Juan Soto, you sign Max Scherzer to a big deal. Like everything worked for them, culminating in a 2019 World Series championship. Then it all kind of, you start to give away some pieces, and then it hasn't been the same since. They've made good trades still. Like the Juan Soto trade is great for them, and that's obviously he's a big part of that. They just haven't been able to get the job done on the international signings route, and the draft has been bad for them all of a sudden. It has not proved fruitful for them, and that's kind of when you miss on a bunch of first round picks in a row, like you are going to have a tough time replacing that. You need that talent in your farm system to be able to trade, to be able to, bring and have supplemental talent at the big league level, cheap supplemental talent. Like that's where it's supposed to come from. It's the lifeblood. And they just haven't been able to do that. So on one hand, he had almost a historic run of guys. Obviously it helps being able to pick first and taking these guys, but you pick generational players and it changes your organization. And then you go into a lull like this, it's kind of interesting. It's not all on Mike Rizzo. There's a huge scouting department that, helps out with all these decisions. But I said this to Jay because we were talking about it earlier today. I don't think they're scapegoats. I do think it's time for a new kind of voice there, as they do have this core of players that they've, basically cultivated from that Juan Soto trade. I think new voice for a manager, I'm in for it. Rizzo, to me, maybe I know they had like a deadline on his contract, so they had to tell him whether he was going to be brought back or not. I think that this is going to be a very, very sought after job, both managerial and GM wise. I think you have that young core of players, and I do believe, because the market's pretty big, that if they can provide, I guess, like a blueprint, I think they could have a big payroll there. I think you can go out and sign guys if you're in Washington. So I think it's going to be a highly coveted position. But I was fascinated with this, to be honest with you. I think it is. We've been waiting for the Nationals to kind of like take that next step. And sometimes like an organizational shakeup like that or like this is needed. So I'm on board.
Well, if you were Mike Rizzo and Davey Martinez and you woke up on the day of July 7th and found out you were only 2.5 games behind the Atlanta Braves, you were like, "God damn, we're cooking, man. We're in great shape." I don't think they thought that the Braves would be that far under 500 and in fourth place in their division. So that's part of the bugaboo here. Yeah, Davey Martinez, when I saw that quote, and he's had a few gems in recent years. Like, Davey is sneaky. He is a sneaky fire starter in front of the microphone. I've known Davey a long time, and he does not mind saying shit. You know, there's a lot of guys that'll tiptoe. He will jump into that pool both feet in. That's how he rolls. And when he said the last thing, I was like, oh, God, that is a borrowed time statement if I've ever heard one. With Mike Rizzo, he was there 16 years.
Yeah.
If you are listening to this show right now or watching it or however you consume, first of all, thank you very much. Secondly, raise your hand if you've worked for the same company for 16 years. Because I haven't. Have you?
No.
Nope. That's pretty special. And to be in this business that long a time with one stop, it's good. It's really good. Their last first-round pick that has made a dent with them, with their organization, was Anthony Rendon in 2011. It's too long to go. Even if you're picking later in the first round, come on, it's the baseball draft. You got to find one, like Carter Kieboom. Can you stick with me? Lucas Giolito was a good pick in 2012, but, you know, he was part of the Adam Eaton deal. So they just haven't had guys that have stuck with them. What?
I'm just thinking of that deal again. Oh, my gosh.
What, the Adam Eaton deal? Yeah. So it was Ronaldo Lopez, Giolito, and then who was the other arm?
Ouch.
It was one other big name arm that went
I
there.
don't know. I can look it up.
Yeah, look it up. Dane Dunning. That's exactly who it was.
Another high pick of theirs.
Yeah. So there you go.
I thought Rizzo might transition into a different role within the
Yeah.
organization. Maybe he's just done. Maybe he's over it.
Could be. Yeah, I've had a beer or two with Mike Rizzo over the years at the winter meetings and stuff. He's an interesting dude. Look, they built a world championship together. If anybody is ever going to say, well, do we think the Rizzo-Martinez partnership was successful? Hell yes, it was. Got him a World Series in 2019.
Yeah.
Maybe the weirdest World Series we've ever seen where no home team won a game.
Howie Kendrick. Bam.
Off of Will Harris, right?
Right field pole.
Yeah. He went pole dancing. Sure did. Okay, there you go. I agree with you, though. I do think that here's the thing. You know, management, and I'll leave it at this, said in their statement that a fresh approach, a new energy, and like a new voice was needed. Well, they need to listen to that little voice in their head that says, spend more money. Because when you were spending money, you were winning. The last 3 years, they've had a bottom 10 payroll, and they've played like it.
They've been looking to sell the team. So, yeah, I don't know how that works. Like, I said this, like when the Twins were, you know, they're still exploring a sale. Like, why not just go sign some guys? Like, it ain't going to be, you're on the way out. It ain't going to be your money.
The Lakers just sold for $10 billion, and they're trying to win. Like,
a little parting gift to the fans. Here you go.
Right. If you say, so your payroll is $70 million more, is that going to prevent you from buying a team? Nope. Don't want them now.
Yeah, go sign up. Go sign freaking a big time free agent and say, see you later.
Come on now.
And backload the contract.
All right, let's get this. Reserves and pitchers for the All-Star rosters. They were announced on Sunday. So it gives everybody a chance to go nuts about who made the team and who didn't. Game's going to be a week from tomorrow in the ATL. Let's start with this. Clayton Kershaw, named as a special Legends pick by Commissioner Rob Manfred. Do you dig that, or is it cheesy?
Oh gosh. I don't care.
Don't care?
Not like I'm happy for him. Like, does he want to go? That's my biggest question. Like, does he want to go?
So here's the thing. He did not talk about it Sunday. Now, it's hard because they just got swept. And it is, I know he's probably sitting there going, God dang it. Like, I got
He
my
probably wants the
3,000
4 days
strikeout.
off.
He probably does. He probably.
I like the fact they're shining a light on one of the best players we've ever seen.
Yep.
And what I guess they're signifying maybe is his last year, but you never know. Dodgers are going to give him $15 million next year anyway. I'm into it, but like I think if it takes away from somebody that should be on the team, then I don't think he likes it either.
It's an extra spot.
It's just an extra spot or an extra spot they could have given to somebody who, quote unquote, deserved it.
No, there's
I
one
think it
extra.
is, Chris. I think you can name whoever he wants. It doesn't have to be some guy on his outs.
Okay, hold on. There's one extra pitcher on the National League squad, and it's Clayton Kershaw.
I don't know. I was reading up on how they chose it, and I think the commissioner can name like 6 spots.
Okay, so I would agree with you that I think you don't think this was an extra pick by the commissioner?
If it was and he didn't take anybody's spot, then I love it. Don't care about it at all. If you took someone's spot, then I don't love it.
Okay, can we continue on?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, yes, it would suck for whomever he passed over if the commissioner did indeed do that. No question. But at the end of the day, the Midsummer Classic is about the fans creating interest, trying to get a rating up. They're doing whatever they can. I mean, I got to be honest with you. Some of the picks that are on this, some of the players that are on this team are stars in this league, and in my opinion, do not deserve to be there. But I think they're there because they're stars. And this has happened for decades. Listen, Reggie Jackson was voted into the All-Star game in 1981 when he was hitting a $199. So this has happened for years.
I'm looking right now at the way they do it. Each roster has 32 spots. 9 starting position players are chosen by fan ballot. 9 reserves, 5 starting pitchers, and 3 relievers are selected by the players. Mm-hmm. And then the commissioner's office is responsible for the final 6 players on each roster. And by rule, 4 must be pitchers and 2 must be position players. So we got to do the math if Kershaw is just like an extra guy or not. Is there 33 on the NL roster?
I think so.
Okay, then I'm in.
Dan, count that up real quick. If you can count past 20, count to see if there's 33 players on the National League roster instead of 32.
It doesn't look like it, Chris.
All right. Anyway, I'm okay with it. Let us know where you sitting on the whole Clayton Kershaw thing. Are you counting right now? Oh my God. All right. Yeah, we know why he was picked, but we're trying to think if he took,
count because I lost focus.
Yeah, just count for us quickly.
Get to the question, C Rose.
Well, that was part of the question. By the way, would you start him?
Jesus. No.
I wouldn't either.
Because that is truly starting an all-star game is a big deal.
Yeah.
So no, I wouldn't start him.
I would not start him either.
I might not even pitch him, dude.
Oh, no.
I guess if he's going to go, you got to pitch him. But I mean, tell you, guys that have been to, multiple all-star games, all tell you the same thing. Like, hey, that's really cool. I'm flattered. I'm honored. But they'd rather have the 4 days off.
Well, I'll just say a couple other things. Number one, he didn't pitch the first couple months. So maybe, and this will be like one last hurrah for his entire family to make a memory, which could be very cool. Could be. And the other thing is, a couple of years ago, didn't Pujols and Miggy get to go as the Legends pick? And Miggy wasn't even in his last year. Yeah, there we go. So
I just counted 32. So hold on.
Dan counted 33. Trevor counted 32. We're having a math off today. This is great. Look at him. For those of you that are audio only today,
I have 32. Unless I'm missing one.
Did you count him?
Oh, Yamamoto didn't show up. It's 33. Okay.
33.
I expanded the picture. It's 33. I'm okay with it.
All right. Let's do this. Best story of the guys who made it. Let's go quick on this one.
You go first. I forgot that was part of the question.
I'm going to go with Matthew Boyd of the Chicago Cubs. 34 years old. He makes his first All-Star game celebrated last night by dealing against the St. Louis Cardinals on Sunday Night Baseball. I don't think it's a stretch to say he has been a savior for that rotation. They lost Justin Steele for the year early. Shota missed a month because of a hamstring. Tyone just went on the injured reserve. This guy has been incredible. In fact, I believe in 8 straight starts now, he has given up 2 runs or less. He's been phenomenal. And if you go do a straw poll of anybody that knows him in baseball, nicest guy in the game. And I have had several people tell me best human being they've ever met.
Wow.
So
Yeah, no, I'm a big Matthew Boyd fan. He loves all of our stuff too. He follows the Warehouse games. We did like
He's
a
a good
poll
guy, man.
talking about that. Very happy for him. I'll go Ryan O'Hearn. How about that? For the
Nice.
Baltimore Orioles, a guy that's been designated for assignment, kind of like never really found his footing, but gets to Baltimore, finds a home, and gets named to his first All-Star team. So
Love that.
I'll do that.
Now let's do the snub thing, which I got to be honest with you, even though people like talking about it, it's one of my least favorite
Yeah.
things. Because if you do the snub thing, then you can't just say, "Oh, well, this guy got left off." Tell me who they're going to replace, and it has to make sense. It can't be, "Well, that guy should replace that pitcher," because that doesn't wash. What do you have?
I don't love I got 2. The one I have really prepared is Trey Turner. But I have an affinity for Trey Turner, and
Yes.
he's had a very, very solid year. Totally changed things defensively. And I asked Phillies fans and Shelfie in particular, why is he better defensively? They said going to his backhand side is much more consistent. He's been making those plays, making the routine plays. Also got 22 swipes on the year, 120 OPS plus. He's just been phenomenal. I want him on the All-Star game because I just love the way he plays the game. He's always been one of my favorite players. So I think that he probably deserves it. Seiya Suzuki is the other one. I thought you were going to choose him. That's why I didn't choose him. Leads the league in runs driven in. I didn't even know that until I was watching Sunday Night Baseball last night. So an incredible start to the year. 75 runs driven in already.
Mm-hmm.
And we haven't even got to the All-Star break. I like that. For Trey Turner, too, I'm gonna take off the team. Eugenio Suarez. And I don't really have a good reason for it. He's hit a ton of homers, but I think it's kind of been buoyed by like 2 big games.
Yeah.
He's nice year, 140 OPS plus. I think he's going to get traded back to the Mariners. Love it, but if I have to take one person off, I'm taking Gino.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And people say, well, then you don't have a backup third baseman. We could play Trey Turner at third for a little exhibition. It's perfectly fine. For me, Juan Soto.
You want him on there?
I do. I mean, there's 2 guys in the sport who have an above 900 OPS and did not make the All-Star team, and he is one of them. Michael Busch of the Cubs is the other.
That's another good one. Snub.
Yeah, first base in the NL is loaded. Freddie is probably the guy, but he got voted in, so you can't take him off. So it's either Pete Alonso, who's had a great year, and Matt Olson has had a really good year too. But with Soto, the guy I would take off is Tatis, and I love watching Fernando Tatis play. So I understand why he's there, but he doesn't even have an 800 OPS. Soto, I get it. He's not the defender. He doesn't run the bases the way that Tatis does, who can leave us with him. But I love it when either hometown guys play. So like when Matt Olson's there, Ronald Acuna's there in Atlanta, that's going to be great. And I love it when the arch enemy has to wear their home whites in Atlanta for like a Met. That's going to be awesome. I want to hear him get booed. Like, that's fun. That is like fun stuff to me. And I want to see how his reaction is. Would he tip his cap? Would he have fun with it? I'm sure he would. Like, I want to see that. To me, that's cool.
What I will say is, it seems like, if you're looking for like the best overall numbers to be put in the game, that's just not going to happen. Fan vote for starters. Like, fans are educated, but they also have bias. Like, they're going to vote for their guys. Players vote for the next spots. They're going to vote for their guys as well. They're friends, and they're not educated on like really what's going on around the league. They're thinking about themselves.
Yeah.
So like you're going to get stuff like that happen all the time. And then the commissioner naming the last 6 guys, what do you think he wants? He wants the stars in there. So like you're going to have snubs, and it's just part of the process.
Yeah. I mean, like Julio and Tatis, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think both those guys were player picks. So every time everybody's like, well, just let players vote for the Hall of Fame. And
Dude,
nah.
because you get it on your chair and you're like, I don't want to do this right now. I got shit to do. I got to prepare for the game.
Right.
Boom.
Yeah. I mean, they don't.
They're not sitting around together like, hey, guys, let's get the Fangraphs and Baseball Savant page up.
Like if teams are going on a 9-game, 10-day road trip, I've found that a lot of guys don't even know where the last city is that they're going.
Very much focus on the task at hand. Forget yesterday. Don't worry about tomorrow.
Yep. It's interesting. All right. This episode, Baseball Today, it is sponsored by Factor. Summer. Oh, it is here. Just walk outside. You know it's going to smack you upside the head. That means there's more sun. There's more light. There's more time to do all things that make summer so special. And the number one thing you don't want to be doing all summer, that's spending hours cooking inside. That's where Factor comes in. Factor's chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals, they are ready in just 2 minutes, taking the hassle out of eating well. With 45 weekly menu options, you can pick gourmet meals that fit your goals, choose from Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, Keto, and more. Factor powers your day with satisfying breakfasts, on-the-go lunches, premium dinners, and guilt-free snacks and desserts. Factor's great for when I'm running all over the place, like recently, working through a bunch of tasks that need a meal that's ready to go in minutes. With Factor, I can fuel up, power through my day. So get started at factormeals.com/today50off. You use that code today, the number 50OFF to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. Comes in handy. It's a big box. That code is today50off at factormeals.com/today50off. 50% off plus free shipping. Yum, yum, yum. Enjoy. Last thing before we get out of here. New Orleans Saints running back Alvin Kamara threw out the first pitch at the Cubs game over the weekend. Went so badly, he said, I want a second pitch. So Cubs mascot's like, yeah, I guess. Are you okay with this, that he got a mulligan or not?
Well, the crowd loved it, so I'm all about it. And maybe Jack Doyle on his little tour of throwing the first pitch, maybe he needs a couple mulligans. I believe his count is now sitting at 3-1. But I like it. He was mad. He said, I can do better than that. I'm fine with it. Again, if the crowd booed him and then they cheered him. So I think it worked.
It's called a first pitch, not a first and second pitch. He's not working a count here.
Think about this. Hey, people aren't talking about the horrible Alvin Kamara pitch anymore. And usually they do. If you mess up a first pitch, did you see Joe Burrow try to throw a baseball? You were gone in France when this was happening at Fanatics Fest. Did you see it?
I saw it. Listen, maybe this just comes from sheer embarrassment on my part. The one first pitch I've thrown out in my hometown, I threw it in the other batter's box. And Nick Swisher had to go, yo, bro, what happened? So maybe I'm just jealous that I wasn't good enough to get a second pitch.
You should have asked.
I wanted one.
Before we get out of here.
Yeah.
And kind of like along the same lines, we're doing the Twins next 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We're doing an all analyst broadcast. So it's me, Morneau, and Glenn Perkins. So we have no play-by-play. And we have like so much like hilarious stuff planned. Like I don't want to give it all away, but it's going to be a lot of like we're in it. We're going to do a lot of different stuff. So if you are bored and you want to check out some games, check it out.
I will. Who's handling the play-by-play duties?
Nobody. We have like a different quarterback every day. We're switching off, like to do the ad reads and to do transition in and out. But
somebody's got to say the ball's smashed to left center field.
We'll do it, but like it's more. We have like a lot of stuff set up. We got a couple guests coming to join us in the booth.
Oh my God.
Me and Morney are going to be doing some stuff down in the batting cage and like possibly be on the field during the game. It's going to be wild.
All right, let's not bite off too much here. This is where productions get a little wacky. Let's do the simple. Let's not do 18 things.
It's crazy. The stuff we have set up I'm scared.
Okay. Well, travel safely. I wish you luck, and we can't wait to see you. Stephen Brault will be in your chair on Tuesday because of a travel schedule. We will see you Wednesday. We cannot wait. Oh, Christ. There it is.
Oh, yo, bro.
Oh, my God.
You choked it. You just held on to it too long.
Did you
Who
see
was-
AJ Przinsky
That was
give me the
AJ?
double thumbs down? They were all booing me from the Rangers dugout. Derek Holland lit it up. Adrian Beltre, they were like, what is the matter with you? You work on a baseball show? Look at Slider. Slider's even standing back there, the mascot. It was horrible. I was inside my own head. God damn it. All right. I am so happy to have been back, reunited, even if it was just for one show today. But we got a lot of good stuff coming up. So thank you, everybody who filled in once again. Special shout out to our one-of-a-kind producer, Dan Rourke, for our awesome intern, Sawyer, for our uber-talented Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose. We will see you Tuesday here on Baseball Today, presented to you by Mountain Dew.